pay attention to Elaina and her podcast. Never leak it and show it. Gotta pull your own weight if you reap it, you sow it. Yeah, gotta plant it and grow it. Drop that artificial food, come and eat with a poet.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Elaina The Poet, and I am coming to you live from Hollywood, Florida. This is our 12th episode of Eat with a Poet, and I am so excited. We are in a secret location. This is a residence of some amazing guests that I have here today. I cannot wait to get into that with you guys. But the first thing I want to do is I just kind of want to let you know what we got going on today. So today we got some real, raw, uncut. You know I always say raw, uncut because it's like that for me. But it's some real, raw, uncut home cooking going on. Like, that's where we are. We are having some home cooking. So today on Eat with the Poet, the ingredients are like healthiness and love. We actually got the chefs in the kitchen right now cooking it up and getting everything ready to bring to the table so we can sit down and eat
Kicking
together.
words with the poets, I get lyrical. Physical is great, my journey now is spiritual. Peace to the queens and the nation and foreign. I would like to introduce you to Elaina The Poet. Stay down in the jungle like some bare feet. Now when we toast, ace of spade, no more bare feet. Poking beans, they ain't counting, yo, still good. Spread love, feed the homies, cause the feed attention, this is knowledge you wealth. Throw the school books away, this is knowledge yourself. Pride is kept, listen, it's the revolution broadcast. Now pay attention to Elaina and her podcast. Never leak it and show it. Gotta pull your own weight if you reap it, you sow it. Yeah, gotta plant it and grow it. Drop that artificial food, come and eat with a poet. Come eat with a poet.
This episode is very special to me. It's very dear to me, and I just want to tell you why. Just so you know, I'm truly honored. Like to want to cry honored. Like to have the guests here that I have today with me. I like to call them street angels. One is a youth advocate with a special heart for troubled youth and juveniles. She has been hands-on and heart-in from day one. The community knows her name, and the children know her name. I will not tell you her name. She will tell you her name when she sits at the table with me. All right. Also, my next guest, because I have 3 guests on the show with me today. The next guest that I'm going to have on the show sitting with me is so special to me because she's actually a poet. And the prime example of being responsible for giving back her gift to people at any cost. She shows up and has been showing up for over a decade. The entire city of Miami loves her, and she loves them right back, like literally from her heart. Seriously. And my final guest, like I said, I got 3 gems sitting with me today, is the definition of a soldier or a knight in urban gear. He chose the children. He chose to give of himself and take responsibility for the community youth. He is a prime example of the work and the resolve. I love each one of them, and I cannot wait to let you talk to them. Be right back with you right after this. Eat with a Poet. You guys, do not forget to go to my YouTube channel and subscribe and like and follow me. I need your comments. I need you to give me your testimonies. I need to talk to you. I want to connect with you. We are staying together on this journey. You understand? I needed mine earlier. Oh, now. Let's go. Ready to bust this hole open. Mona, where's the fish?
Oh, that's right, the fish. This promise is the business.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Belle, what's up? You ain't tell me. We are back. We are back and we are live on Eat with a Poet, and you can see I am at the listen. Do y'all understand who I'm sitting at this table with? I need y'all to understand what is going on at this table right now. Okay. So I already introduced my guests, right? But now they are all here and arrived. One time for the chefs in the bitty. Chef D Hollis to the right of me. Chef Weber to the right of me. And all of the food that we will be eating today are compliments of the chefs. We forgot their chef hats, guys, but we was doing something a little bit different on Eat with the Poet today, so this is what it is. Now, I am going to go around the table, and each one of that which is greatness is going to speak to you today. I'm super excited. All right, so to the left of me is where I will start, because I already let you guys know how special she is to me. She is so special to me because she is a poet here in South Florida. We already talked about how you are doing the work, how you are out there, and pretty much everyone in Miami who knows poetry, knows about poetry, up and down South Florida. Look, I could go on, but I'm not. Because I'm allowed to do that. So, to the left of me, I will introduce to you none other than the amazing Rebecca Butterfly Vaughn. Talk to the people.
Hello, people out there in the universe.
Yes.
It's the one and only Rebecca Butterfly Vaughn.
Yes.
If you want to know what strength looks like, you're looking right at it. I'm still in shock. Not too left field. I am emotionally balanced, but unfortunately, my mother became a guardian angel on June 21st. Today makes 16 days that I'm walking in a new life, a new journey. I do feel weird to continue on the chapters
Right.
of my life, because I do take one day at a time, and then one year at a time.
Right.
Without her physically here, but I know that she's always going to be with me. It's just as my sister pointed out, there's a wall piece that she bought my mom for Mother's Day many years ago, and she was like, Becca, we never know why things happen and why we do the things. But the wall piece actually says a mother is a guardian angel in disguise. So
Yeah.
I feel blessed, but this is definitely a moment in time that I will cherish, because it don't look like it. I've been 120 all my life, but I love to eat.
Yes.
And this food looks scrumptious.
Right.
I am a mashed potato addict, junkie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes,
She was staring at me.
actually,
She was like, "Oh, the mashed potatoes."
it's gonna be emotional to eat it, and that's because once I taste the food that I really, really like, unlike most people, they're like, they can't do leftovers. I can eat it every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So my mom used to make me lentil soup, and she used to hook it up. But if I didn't eat it as it is, I would eat it with some mashed potatoes, or I would eat it with yellow rice. So this is my first time in literally 20 days eating mashed potatoes again. So
let me just interject.
God.
Real quick, for anybody who knows Butterfly, this lady is a walking. I don't know how she does it, but she's a numbers person. She's a numerical poet. Like, she's a numerical poet. So, if you know how she is, I don't know how many times throughout this particular recording session she's going to refer to numbers, but I need you to understand she's going to use the numbers. And I think that's such a gift. I love that. I love that about you. I think that's so amazing that you're able to just do that on the spot. Like, I'd be like, dang. I'm going to talk some more to her about what I love about her. And I want you to actually make sure that we put your handles and everything out so people can know where you are, what you got going on next, what's coming up for the Butterfly. And then we're going to dig into some of the community work. Just by the way, guys, today's episode is titled Save Our Children. I am sitting with people who advocate for children. It's what they live, sleep, eat, everything, children. So I'm going to go right here because my arm is itching. It's itching, right? So I love this lady so much, guys. She is an amazing cook. That's one of the reasons I love her, but I love her so much because she helped me being able to actually walk more in my purpose when it came to children. She helped me make a conscious decision to want to be there for children and understand in that journey alone, it just shifted something inside of me as a person. So I don't know if she knows that she's shifting people, and shifting meaning in such a powerful way, the things that you do. So I ain't gonna go on and on because she knows I can do that. But I need her to tell you who she is, your name, what you got going on, and then we're gonna dig in a little bit more. But just tell people who the amazing person is that sits with me today.
Good God. That's a lot. That's a lot. Hello everyone. My name is Mona Lisa Weber. I am a person who does a lot of work in the community, but I need to kind of like,
y'all, we can eat too.
Right. So butterfly, I have to say this because butterfly, the mashed potatoes were not on the menu. You can see it on the text message.
But they were.
But what happened was something inside me today told me to make mashed potatoes.
My mama. I'm serious. I
believe that.
So like for real, like if you look
my
at
baby come, my mama whispering in your ear, my baby coming to your house, make some mashed potatoes.
Right. So I really hope you like it. It's made with a lot of love. The parsley is from the garden. There's I love to cook with garlic, and I love to cook healthy.
I'm taking some home.
So mashed potatoes. So let's eat, and then we can maybe talk about the community work because there's so much.
No, I want you to dig in because I wanted you to. You actually wanted to dig in.
Oh, wait a minute!
Earlier,
we didn't say grace.
We didn't say grace.
Father God, we thank you for this food. We thank you for the hands that have prepared it, Lord. We thank you for the love in which this food was made in. We thank you for this eating session on today. We pray that you will bless each and every person sitting at this table. We thank you for the inspiration that you have given us to do your work and fill our bellies and bless our souls. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
So, I introduced myself, right?
Yeah, you are Mona Lisa Weber.
Yeah.
A probation station, right?
Right. So, Probation Station is my educational program that I created to teach our community about the ins and outs of the criminal justice system.
She just had a bite mash, y'all. Keep going.
Mona.
Oh my God.
And my nonprofit organization is Prevention Not Detention. And
Prevention Not Detention.
Prevention Not Detention.
I love that.
It's just truly about instilling like love and nurturing our youth. We've been mentoring the incarcerated youth for 6 years now, pretty much every week, and it's been a journey. It's been a learning journey. Listening to the children, their wants and their needs. It is truly unfortunate that the systems don't invest in our youth, and I know we'll get into those conversations. And it is apparent that our youth are headed for destruction, and I don't think people understand the severity and the emergency and the urgency that we're in. But before we continue moving forward, I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy a little bit of this food.
Yeah, go ahead, cause we're gonna get right into that.
And then I'm gonna cause this.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So
that's the meat.
Thank
right
you
there.
for having me, and let's. Yes.
And so that's the passion, y'all. And so we are going to dig in a little bit more because I feel like that I wanted to do this episode with them because I feel like that people need to see, soldiers like really doing the work, but doing it in genuine love, That's the difference where you're not doing something for show. You actually go to bed thinking about a way to fix it, and you wake up thinking of a way to fix it. So yeah, we want to talk to them. So to the right of me is I was referring to him as Chef D. Hollis, but his name is Aaron D. Hollis, and I just love him so much. I love his spirit. I love everything about this man. I just want him to tell you who he is, where they can find you, so that people will be able to reach out to you for any reason pertaining to the work that you do if they need to. If maybe they're trying to get started with that particular thing where they are and they need to speak with a soldier. So yes, talk to the people.
How you doing? My name is Aaron Hollis. I'm known as A1. First off, I want to offer my condolences to your mom. My mom transitioned June 21st, 2020. So it's been a year and a few days since I've been without my mom. So,
Wow.
Yeah, my condolences. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's enough.
It just lets us know we're not alone.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, think about it. What's the likelihood if your mom passed the same day as mine a year ago? That's what's the likelihood of that?
Right. Everything. He
And
knows.
the mashed potatoes.
And I tell people all the
Exactly.
time. I tell people all
Exactly.
the time, God is in the details.
Yes.
He is in the details.
Yes.
So when you get something in your spirit, you're like, hey, I should make mashed potatoes. And then she's on her way and she went through something and his brother went through something. This God knows.
Yes.
And he knows why he allowed you to be here today. You and us. So I follow that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful for that. And we thank you so much just for being here, even in that. So yes, please, A1. That's what you want people to. So you would like for people to call you A1, right?
It don't matter. I think I want to say I grew up in that system that Mona Lisa kind of was talking about. In the streets, I'm known as A1.
Mm-hmm.
People know me as A1. My mom, she actually called me A1 a few times.
Okay.
But most children know me as A1.
Okay.
So I kind of kept the name. But
Correct.
I'm cool with Aaron. It don't make a difference.
Right. Right.
Cool.
Yes. Yeah, no, so this is good. More mash. Today is about the street angels. They're everywhere. Just like there's evil, there's good. And so the good needs to be put on display so that people can understand. Good doesn't always look like smiles and happiness and all that stuff. It comes with trials, tribulations, a lot of hard work, heartbreak, and a lot of different things that we all have truly experienced on this journey. So I'm just grateful that we chose to continue the path. This work we do is necessary. All right. So each person, I don't know, Butterfly, do you have any nonprofit organizations or anything that you deal with directly? Because I know you do a lot of stuff with homeless.
Not necessarily directly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just affiliated with different nonprofits.
Mm-hmm.
And they reach out to me when they do, their annual events or workshops and stuff.
Right, because I know we've done some stuff at Lotus. Was that Lotus House or Camilla's house?
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
I loved
Yeah.
that. Lotus House and Camilla's house are homeless shelters for women in Miami. Really big houses. So that was really cool, and I loved that experience. Also, there's some other things that you've done. Butterfly does a lot of, you do a lot of poetry at a lot of places like festivals, historic festivals.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about those things that you've done for the community, how you've given back through poetry.
Well, I'll be honest, it's never really an honor when there's events, around gun violence.
Mm-hmm.
Myself, personally, I'm already at close to 40 people that I've lost to gun violence. My first experience of learning of losing a loved one and actually a relative is in the late 80s. I had a cousin that had gone to a nightclub and a gentleman had stepped on another gentleman's shoe. He apologized, but that wasn't enough. So the guy left out of the club, went to his car and got his gun, came back with the intentions of wanting to shoot the guy who stepped on his shoe. Unfortunately, my cousin was actually in the bathroom at the time, and in walking out of the bathroom, he walked into the crossfire.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Jesus. It's crazy.
I battled back and forth wishing that Alexandria Dean, who was also a cousin, would have stayed home, because it was expressed that she did go back and forth whether she wanted to go to that party that night. And I wish she would have stayed home, because I tell people all the time anyway, if you tug of war with wanting to do something, no matter what it is, no matter what it is, I mean, even if it's to watch a TV show, don't do it. Because at the end of the day, life is simple. People make it hard.
Right.
Nothing has to be, need to be, or should be forced.
Right.
Everything literally should come with a beautiful ease and comfort. But when you have to force something, it's not good. It's not good for your energy. It's not good for your state of mind. It's not good for your emotions. And then down to the little kids, because even to culminate and include poetry with it was when I came to know of Gwendolyn Brooks, Chicago's poet laureate. And that's just it. They expressed and shared that she went to bed every night with children on her mind, thesaurus and dictionary by her bedside with infants. And so, myself, I'm an empath.
I know you.
And anyone who shares that same space already know that you really don't sleep at night, because basically you're carrying the
weight
emotional weight
of other people,
known or unknown. I shared with someone a while ago that if you're ever listening, well, not I won't say listening, but if you're ever in proximity of hearing an owl howl, that's a message to let you know that someone has died, is about to die, or will die. And that she said, I've been hearing owls off and on, here and there, sparingly. So the last time I did hear an owl was a month before my mother passed. But you never say, oh, you know, that kind of thing.
You don't know.
And so, and everything talks to you.
Oh yeah, signs everywhere.
Everything.
Yeah.
And you know, for me, from May to September is the hardest 5 months of the year for me. This month, July, of those 5 months, is the strong hardest, because from the 20th to the 26th, I lost 5 people every day. On the 20th, I lost my biggest fan. Well, one of 2 of my biggest fans, Miss Sandra Lee. She didn't play about me. She didn't play about me. So I lost her on the 20th. Then I lost a very prominent individual within the Miami-Dade County Police Department, to suicide. Then the next day, a childhood friend of mine, mother's passed. And then that Saturday, a lady that I know since I was a little girl in church, she passed. And then that Sunday, my cousin was murdered. But he was not the target. The person who was the target pulled my cousin in front of him. So my cousin ended up getting shot 5 times in the chest.
Jesus.
But same thing, you know, I through it all, you know, you learn to push past it. That's why I tell anybody, don't allow no one to put a time limit on how long you grieve. Like I'm sitting here, I saw tears were about to fall from your eyes, and you held them. You held them. I saw where you were telling me about your mom, and I saw this eye, your actually, you're right. I saw that tear that was like this, not to fall, and that's how it is. There's been times I've actually gone, and I share. You already know I wear my life on my sleeves. So even myself, I've struggled and battled with suicide since the age of 23.
Yeah.
June 30th is a hard day for me because that's the day we lost Phyllis Hyman, and then that's just it. Today is her birthday. So if she was living, she would have been 72. And it's definitely what they say, 6 degrees of separation, because here I was in Miami, and here she was in New York. She let go, I held on. And I say it all the time that usually those who do let go is because there's no spiritual foundation. Because everybody does have someone that they believe in or pray to, or just being human, but knowing there is a higher being than you.
Right.
And that's what has kept me. That's why I'm still sitting here next to the three of you. Because I always allow God to snatch my hand.
That done kept all of us.
Or allow God to shift my thoughts. And to go to show you how interesting life is, that what's the likelihood that my mom would transition 3 years later, a day before, where I, 3 years ago, on the 22nd of June, was ready to throw in the towel because of my own doings and accountability for the biggest mistake in my life I ever did, for caring about somebody who didn't give a damn about me.
And it's funny, I'm sorry to cut you, but I have to cut you because when I think about that, like when you say, you look at a person, you can't tell what they've been through by looking at them. And it's funny because your gift is so powerful. So it's like when I've seen you perform, no matter what you had gone through, no matter what it took you to get to that very moment, in that very second, is when anybody sitting in front of you knows that you've been chosen. They know that it's a gift. They know that you're living and moving for something greater and more powerful than yourself, than your situations, than anything else that you got going on. The gift has to move forward. Oh, excuse me,
that's
y'all.
Okay, and that's why you'll have the attacks on you because
that's it. That's it right there.
That's just it. When you are a person who was chosen and anointed, and I'm not saying this for myself. This is what has been told to me. Right. I have had a child tell me I'm anointed. Right. I have numerous pastors tell me I'm anointed.
Because you are.
A DJ K. Chin. It always runs through my mind when I'm having moments where his grandfather at the gravesite, and his grandfather, is a pastor, and his grandfather put his cane in front of me. I was, getting ready to leave, and he put his cane in front of me, in a matter of like, no, don't go nowhere. And he said to me, I wanted to say something to you at the church, but, you had already left. But I want to let you know, thank you for the words that you spoke, on behalf of my grandson. And just to tell you, you're anointed. Yes. You're anointed and you're blessed. And then I'm also, like you said, I'm going to let the people know about the numbers. 7 is my favorite number, but 11 is my life path number. And not very many people are in 11 because 11 is a master number. Okay. And so therefore, again, that's why I've been getting attacks from a child. Because when you are of that particular number, that she said, you're in this world, but you're not of this world. And you are well read and in tune with so much that is going on. And it's just like somebody's been sharing, or several of us been sharing on social media for the last few days, and that's just it. People aren't jealous of you because it has nothing to do with you. Right. People are jealous of the essence of you. Right. Correct. They're jealous of the attention you get. They're jealous of the love you get. They're jealous of the doors that you walk through. They're jealous of the way you can make things happen. They're jealous of the lives that you touch and you move.
Right.
And it normally comes from people who are doing the same thing too, but they're not reaping what you're reaping. Well, the reason for that is because, again, it goes back to the C word, chosen. When you are not walking in your purpose and moving and navigating in your lane, you're not going to get what you see someone else that is doing the same thing.
And we're going to touch on that. We're going to touch on that a little bit more. I want to talk to the people that are sitting on the right of me, because that was powerful what you said about being chosen. We're going to be right back. Eat with the Poet. You guys, do not forget to go to my YouTube channel and subscribe and like and follow me. I need your comments. I need you to give me your testimonies. I need to talk to you. I want to connect with you. We are staying together on this journey. You understand? And we are back. Listen, we done ran through this little table. This food was so good. I'm going to definitely have to shout out the chefs again, because everything was made with love. And love tastes good, y'all.
Yes, it does.
Love tastes good with every bite, every chew, every swallow. You know what I'm saying? Listen, so I want to get a chance to talk to my people, because you guys haven't heard from them yet. But we have Kids Always First, and then we have Probation Station, which actually they've teamed up. So they're like a pair. And they do so much work together. Initially, I don't know what year that was, Mona. I think in maybe 2016 through 2017, at the Broward Youth Treatment Center. Initially, I went in and I did go in on first Sundays and work with the youth. I did a poetry workshop with the youth. And I was so blessed and honored to be able to do that. I was trying to think of all these different ideas and things to do when I would go in. But Mona Lisa actually allowed for me to be able to do that, because she's hands-on in that treatment center. And there are probably other particular juvenile locations where you go in. She has relationships with the children. So does Aaron, A1. He has relationships with the children. So I personally can never ever forget the experience that I had. So I know it's something that, I know that it makes a difference in your entire life. Being able to work up close and personal with so many youths. I saw a live you guys did. I want to say maybe a few days ago or last week or whatever. You did a live. You had just come out of the treatment center. And you were talking about the guys, and, they had wrote some things. And that got me. I'm sorry, that got me, because I used to make them do that when I was there. And I almost wanted to cry a little bit, because it was like nostalgia. Is that the right word? Where it takes me back? Oh, yeah. It is such, people don't understand like how powerful that experience is. So if you could just talk a little bit about, what that does for you, so that people can kind of understand, or either one of you can take that. People can understand why you are devoted to this work, what it does for you, and the purpose in which you do it.
Okay. With a whole nother drink. Listen. I'm not perfect, but I'm on purpose. So, I honestly, I always knew there was something in me growing up. I just didn't understand and couldn't identify. My mom was a very spiritual person. She was obedient to God, and we used to fuss a lot. I didn't understand. So I know her more now that she's gone than I knew her when she was alive, because on or around, I want to say 2013, I was just tapped. That purpose that just kicked in. Like I didn't understand it. So what I do know is that I'm obedient. Right? I do know that. And I want to say that I have no idea what the hell I was doing. Right. Okay. Let's just get that straight. It's different worlds out here. So what I do know is that I am the vessel that God chose in order for us to take care of this earth, right?
Amen.
So I keep on talking about that we are here to instill knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to our children.
Yes.
And it's not happening. And I cuss a lot. I'm really trying not to cuss because I understand Elaina's platform. So y'all bear with me.
It might slip out there.
It might slip, but bear with me because it's like I don't think people understand like what really is going on out here.
Yeah.
Like I just don't really. So in mentoring the incarcerated youth, I have the honor and the opportunity to understand and learn and kind of like stay up to date with what's really going on.
Mm-hmm.
Our children are not nurtured. They are not loved. They are just, they're like, you know, can you just imagine like you just bear a child and you let them,
They're abandoned.
like, just think about that, right? And our children are lacking so much. They are lacking the basics.
Mm-hmm.
They are lacking understanding. They are lacking respect. They are lacking, they are lacking, but we're expecting.
Yes.
And I'm getting really tired of adults. I really am.
Yes.
I really am.
My sentiments as well.
You know, I'm here today on this platform because it's Elaina. Because Elaina came into the juvenile facility. Her own time, her own willingness, her own, you know, her and another young lady's curriculum, you feel me? And like, I ain't had no money. You feel me? Like, people like us don't really get, we kind of get thrown to the side because we really care.
Right.
So we have to start identifying and really explaining to the community the differences out here, because there are many agendas. There are many people out here that I guess they like to be seen, and I'm running from the cameras, and them mofos come at me all the time.
I had to beg for this interview, y'all.
You know, and it's not that. It's just that I feel a need. I'm not even gonna say a need.
You don't do it for show.
It's not a need, man. Like it's when God grab you, okay, and He says, "This what you need to do."
Come on, man.
You don't try to
feel
break
me?
loose.
Like, you try, like, I'm gonna be real with you, man. Me and God be fighting, but it's like you try to break loose, but you always come back. And I don't think people understand what that means. When I am not obedient and I get distracted, stuff happens.
Yes,
I be like,
it
what
does.
Okay, God, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Let me run back because I know better.
That's the truth.
A lot of people out here are just walking just to do, just because they think, because they do, because it is, because it's popular, because it's cute, because it's nice, because they're trying to fulfill their own insecurities, their own needs, their own this, their own that, and our children are dying. They're getting killed. Man, this is getting so ridiculous. And I know that a lot of us are in our own bubble. And I understand the struggle of not being able to devote your time or your energy. And I understand that this stuff is depressing and it is a burden.
But it don't got to be depressing.
Exactly.
And you know, one thing about the spirit of love, it'll lift you up. And these things, it'll give you light. It'll show you. And that's the thing. When you said that God grabbed you and He put His hands on you, see, what people need to understand is when you've been chosen and you recognize it. Because some people be moving through and they don't really recognize the calling, or they're making their own plans, or they got plans for what they feel like they want to do with this great idea. But when you've been called, the thing that you said that strikes a bell, obedience. You got to let Him lead you, because then that means He called you, which means what? It's not your work that has to be done. It's His work that has to be done. So it's His voice that we have to listen for. And a lot of times what we can't hear it is because we moving, we planning, we working, we doing this. And no, that's not the case. We got to be still and listen, because He is the lead. You see what I'm saying? So that's why us a lot of times, when you were saying that it can be depressing and things like that, that's the God truth. But a lot of times it's because we let our passion and the desires that we want and the things of how bad we want it to work, we let it trump or sometimes cover up what really is God's plans.
Right.
Not saying that's what you did.
No. Right.
But what really is his plans, when we need to listen for what his plans is so that things can be done accordingly. That's what
I'm not going to argue with you on that one. I agree with you completely. When I talk about depression, I talk about the fact of the disappointment of the people who are out here, quote unquote, saying that they care and are working for the children, right?
It hurts.
Right. So it's a hurt.
Yes.
I am a solution oriented type of individual.
Right.
I want solutions.
Right.
And when I met this brother, A1, 4 years ago now, I was more on more of a national type of platform.
Okay.
Right. And when I met him, he's the person in his community, right? Mm-hmm. And I was so impressed with what he did through his pain and his tragedies, right? And how there was 250 plus people out, and I'm like, this man to bring out all these people in the right? So, and just the journey, learning and coming together and really understanding what's going on, and his love for the children and my love for the children, and how we combined and we became more powerful, right? So when we talk about becoming, working as a collective and becoming more powerful, he uses his gifts. I use my gifts.
Right.
It hasn't been easy.
Oh, God.
Right. It hasn't been easy, but let me just tell you a little bit of the work that we do.
Yes.
Outside of mentoring the incarcerated youth every week, we also we do kids movie nights where we keep the kids off the streets, right? But the cool stuff about the stuff that we've done, that we do, and will continue to do is that, man, wherever we at, that's what we finna do. You feel me? In the hood, we taking the extension cord, plugging it at his mama house where Mama Rowe, rest in peace, and we plugging that extension cord and we doing this stuff in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Now, I always dreamt about saving the world, but I know that I can't do that. I was very hard to accept.
Right.
But now I can be impactful. And now we as a team can be double impactful, right? So now, kids movie nights. Now, our kids lack so much love.
What is it, pancake days?
So we do our pancake breakfast where what we do is, look, we bring out you see, I don't knock anyone. Everybody has their thing. We do things with a little bit extra love and a little bit extra notch, right? So we bring you your yogurt land to the hood. We bring you your Menchie's to the hood. You feel me? We got the pancake breakfast. We talk about whipped cream. We talk about M&M's. We talk about fresh fruits because we're about eating healthy, right? When we want to talk about the school to prison pipeline, when we want to talk about healthy foods, when we want to talk about what our children are eating in the morning and the lack thereof, right?
I love that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
She always promotes that.
You'll be surprised. It's going to make you say, what? You'll be surprised how many of our Black children don't know what a nectarine is. Don't know what a plum is.
You ain't got to tell me. I know.
Don't know what papaya is.
Wow.
You'll be surprised.
And that's the thing that I'm trying to get to the people. When I was teaching at alternative schools, which I will not mention them, okay? Man, the lack. We're talking about 14 and 15-year-old grown boys, and they getting this much of cereal. There's no healthy foods. There's no alkaline water. There's no fresh fruits. There's no nutrients. How do you expect them to do in school?
Right.
Sugar rushes. All they eat is junk food in the morning. That's why they listen, it starts from the foods that our children eat, to the lack of love, to the lack of community, to the lack of discipline. We are in dire need here. Right. And we focus on bringing solutions, bringing inspiration, letting the kids know that they can do pretty much anything. However, we don't throw that anything word around, though. Let's make that clear. Because you can do anything. No. when we talk about we can do anything, we have to let them know that it's not easy, that you need discipline. Like, for example, when we at the juvenile facility, I'm like, if y'all can't get up at 6, 7 in the morning, how you finna run a business?
Exactly.
You feel me? Like, this is not easy. This is not just going to be handed and given to you. Like, you get, okay.
And that's
we have to stress to them that it's bigger than the money.
It's bigger than the money.
These kids and mainly the millennials, their mind state is, get the cheddar, get the cheddar. With me, I trick people a lot with my state of mind with money. This is how I exercise with money. I didn't come into the world with it. I'm not leaving the world with it. Mm-hmm. In the between is my dash. My main concern is leaving my mark. Mm-hmm. The world knowing I was here. Mm-hmm. Money for me, I need it because it's necessary for survival with regards to paying your bills and buying food and putting gas in your car.
But you ain't got to be
But
rich.
outside of that, I don't need to be rich. Mm-hmm. If it happens, fine. Mm-hmm. Because even when they be posting that stuff on social media, if you got $1 million, what would you do with it? Share it out. Mm-hmm. Share it out. That's just what I would
do. To build some businesses up in here.
Like I had a situation happening at Dollar Tree 2 days ago. And that's when my mom let it go. But I went just to buy 2 items. And the lady had no idea that all I had was the 2 items. So she's bringing more grocery. And I realized, and I said, wait a minute, hold up. I say, no. I say, I only got 2 things. I say, one day I'll be able to do this. But for right now, that ain't the case, And that's my thing, And with these kids, they have to be shown how to hone their gifts and talents and what they have inside of them.
The natural
and their passion. See, what's happening or what has happened from at least our time frame and our parents and our people in our lives, relatives. Because let me tell you, God bless and rest your soul, Mommy. I'm glad you eventually came around. But for a long time, my mother really didn't agree with me being a full-time poet. Because her mind state was, you went to school, and I'm also from island, descent. And anybody who knows when it comes to the island culture, the arts is looked upon as a hobby. Yeah. Nothing of stability. Right. You either got to be a lawyer, a doctor. Right. In the military. Something that is stable. Correct. And is considered a profession. Yeah, correct. And so, we went back and forth. I dealt with, being told, go get a real job. But of course, as you can see, last year, 2020, COVID showed us what was real jobs. Right. So COVID showed us who was essential. Right. And so now those workers at the McDonald's and the Kmart's and the Dollar Trees, they're getting respect now that they didn't get respect before. Right. Because they were still working while those who have quote unquote real jobs weren't. And so our kids, if your child comes to you and says that, they want to be a juggler, go out and find them the best jugglers, that they can use to perfect what they do. I often, and I think about her every now and then and wonder if she did, pursue it. I went to a private school years ago. And, I spoke to the kids. After it was over, I talked to 2 young ladies. One young lady, she wanted to be an FBI agent. And she said she was moving in that direction, putting her mind state there. So she said when she would answer the phone, she would answer the phone saying, this is agent such and such and such. Right. And she said she had family members that instead of encouraging her or uplifting her, they were telling her, oh no, first of all, you're too big. She was a heavyset girl. You're too big. Then with the other young lady, Hispanic girl, she said, Miss Butterfly, she said, I love fashion. She said, I go to sleep and I dream of being a part of big fashion runways and stuff like that. And I said, well, what are you doing? She said, I'm stuck. She said, because my daddy and my mom, she said, mainly my dad said that he'll pay for me to go to college, but not to go to fashion school. I said, well, I tell you what. I said, be a rebel like me. I said, it's not that you live once, you just live. And if that's what you, because honestly, any individual, whatever you eat, sleep, drink, think 24/7 and you talk to strangers about, that's what you are supposed to be doing to make your living. Les Brown said it best, and it's true. Money is made out there that door. Money is there to be made. And whatever you have that is your passion, make it work for you and make it make you money.
And I think that's a positive thing to instill in children. So many people or especially children are afraid to embrace that thing. They're afraid of being picked on, of what the next child is going to think about them. So they fall into peer pressure and all these different things. Aaron, I'm sure you've had the experience of trying to speak some sense into some young guys or some young gentlemen. What are some of the examples of things that you've had to say to young men to try to change their mentality or to plant those seeds? Because I know that you've been there and have the ability to change a young man's mentality. What are some of those experiences? I know that had to be close to you, to your heart.
Yeah, one of the experiences I like kind of share with these kids, right, is I've been in the street, doing my dealings and stuff like that, right? But it wasn't until I found out that that was somebody else's product. That wasn't a product that I created.
Wow.
So I went to analyze my life, and I said, hey, when I took this product that belonged to somebody else, it set me back. And they already had laws that took me further deep in the hole, right?
Right, correct.
So I was like, why do I want that product? Why don't I get a legal product that I can sell for 20 years and not have to look behind my back?
Right.
So I share too how I used to be in the streets, not how I transitioned and became an ice cream man. So one of the things that I do now, I'm an ice cream man. I roll through the neighborhood selling ice cream. Wow. And I try to tell the kids, when they look at me, they be like, man, you a cool ice cream man. But one of the things that I share with them is that it's a product that I can sell for 20 years without going to jail, without looking behind my back. Right. So I share with them too. I was like, hey, and a few times that I went into the facility, I actually wore a shirt that I created, right? Right. And I tell them, I say, hey, if you print your name on the shirt and sell it, what do you think Tommy Hilfiger, what do you think Polo doing? Right. You don't have to take what the streets offer you. That's it. Because guess what? What the streets offer you is going to set you back. You don't want them. You don't want to be set 20 years back. I'm 36, right? And I want to say I jumped off the porch, right? About 13 years old, 12, 13 years old. Wow. And I did a lot of time, and I'm one of those suicidal kids that you speak of, and I'm one of those kids that Mona speaks of that was in the system. And I just try to share with them, hey, man, this is not what it is. It's not the way of life. Me and my brother, in 1998, we made a pact to, kill ourselves. Because we didn't understand life. We were young. We thinking our reward was in heaven, right? So we really didn't grasp the concept of what was being taught in church. We just thought our reward would be in heaven. What we're going through right now, let's just go to heaven. Right. So we made that pact. Wow. And making that pact, we didn't we didn't complete it, but 2016, my brother killed himself and killed his daughter. He shot his son who survived. My God. My God. So that kind of made me really open my mind to how can I not allow these kids to feel like a burden? Because that's one of the things that he wrote in the suicide letter, that he felt like a burden. So I just try to share every experience that I went through, everything that I went through. Well, at least he left the letter, because most don't. Yeah. So he left the letter. He texted me it was time to check out. So one of the things that I kind of go on with my life is kids always first. I don't care if you a grown person because you're somebody's child, right? But I do more importantly kind of target those kids to let them know hey man, somebody cares about you. Don't feel like a burden. Don't grow up feeling like a burden. And that was the motivation behind the name Kids Always First, right? And that's one of the products for the t-shirt, Vel. You see that Kalia?
Yeah, I was looking at that.
Yeah,
so,
that's one of the.
What's the meaning behind that shirt?
My niece Kalila, she was 1 year old at the time that her life was taken by my brother. So every birthday that she missed, do a kite day with all the kids in the community.
Awesome.
On her birthday.
When's her
Somebody
birthday?
to buy kites, April 6th.
Wow, Aries.
Yeah, April
Kite
6th.
day.
Yeah, so,
Aries.
Kalia Kite Day.
And
I,
they doing the
I would
work.
definitely want to be a part of that next year.
Yeah.
Do it.
And that's
I'll
the
be
thing.
50 next year.
Oh,
This
wow.
is the thing.
Yeah.
It's the seeds, y'all. It's when life happens and things happen, and then you come up with a resolution. You find a way to bounce back. You find a way to use your gift. You find a way to face God and to communicate with Him and let Him know that you know He's great, because we've all had to have that moment. You know, with life and what life has brought us through, we've had to have a moment where we had to sit down and we've had to recognize God's greatness and say to Him.
It's out there. And I often tell people, sometimes it takes tragedy to push you in your purpose. Because believe it or not, we are all born for a purpose. Nobody is just born to be born. You are born for a purpose, and you are here on a mission or missions.
That's it.
And when you are not walking in your purpose, trust me, it's going to ride your heels till you turn around. I can use me for an example. I phased out as a security officer, but I worked for one of the top-notch security companies for three and a half years, Wackenhut. And one of the road supervisors, every time she came on post, when she got ready to leave, she would always turn around and she'd say, "You're not in your space." I'm young. I'm in my 20s, early 20s. So I would shrug it off. You're young, you shrug it off. I ran into her in 2004 at a Savion Glover concert. The tap dancer. So, of course, it's like, Officer Bruce, Officer Barnes, And so she said, "So what are you up to?" I said, "Well, I've been doing poetry full time now." She said, "Thank you, Jesus." Mind you, she's a Jewish woman. She said, "That's what I meant when I used to tell you every time I left your post that you weren't in your space." And she said that when she was in her travels and she would pass a vibe that was like an open mic spot, she said she would ask herself in her driving, she'd say, "I wonder if Officer Barnes is in there." People see your potential or see in you what you have been ignoring or you don't see or running from for whatever reasons. So, Kalia needed to die for Aaron to be what God birthed him to be.
And so here's the thing, and I always tell people this all the time. I always tell people that it's an individual journey. And so here's how the individual journey works. We're born into this world as individuals, and we're born amongst people. So we're connected to all these different people, and we meet people along the way. But on this individual journey, people will leave us. People will drop off. We will meet some in passing. And this is it. So what happens is we get attached to the people we love. We get attached to family. We get attached to all these different things, and we never really remember that we're spiritual beings on purpose.
Amen.
You understand?
No, I understand.
Here with an assigned mission to fulfill what God has placed each one of us here to do. Saving our children, planting seeds, letting people know about the goodness of God, giving life back into people, doing what we're supposed to be doing as servants on this earth. We will be rewarded. We're rewarded throughout our days with the little things that God shows us and the little things, but the reward is yet to come. But I tell you this,
the reward is coming.
It's yet to come because the work ain't done.
Exactly.
The work ain't done. See, you still working. You are still here. You still have more work to do at the voice of God, whatever He tells you. Whatever direction He leads you in, that's what you need to be looking for. Because, see, the mission that you've been assigned is so great that you cannot trust yourself with it.
Exactly.
You imagine that? You cannot even trust. The love you have for that mission can never even compare to God's love. And that is what makes you know even more that it's something that He's placed in your hands that you have to just be like, okay, God, what you want me to do is not. You gonna keep me
One
down?
thing I do know, God trusts me with His vision and
He
His
trusts
purpose. He do. I know that. My spiritual
trusts
father
you.
told me that one time in 2016.
He
He
trusts
like,
you.
the brother trusts you. I'm like, woo, Lord have mercy.
That's the thing. He trusts you,
Yeah.
but you have to trust him. You can't trust you.
Right.
He trusts you
Right.
to trust him. That's how it goes. Trust you to trust him. That's it. That's it right there, y'all. Y'all, I say that right there. That's the word right there. The people that I'm sitting with at this table are hands-on in the community, planting seeds, which I truly believe is what we're supposed to be doing. Planting seeds wherever we need to plant them. Seeds are important and seeds are powerful. And as long as we can do that, we've done our part. So I do truly want to thank you. Did any of you have anything additional that you wanted to say or to add or to share, or
I do.
where you want people to follow you?
You know I do.
Talk. Let
So
them
this is
people
what
hear
I
your
want.
voice.
This is what I want the people to do and say
Go
and
ahead.
understand. The real people out here that truly. Let me start that over. The people out here that are on the ground are not getting the proper funding that they need to get the work.
Talk to me. Go ahead. Tell me.
And when I talk about proper funding, I'm talking about being able to be sustainable in doing the work. Our children don't deserve part-time. Our children don't deserve quarter-time. Our children deserve full-time. Community work is our cash app. You can look us up. Prevention, not detention. Kids always first. Mona Lisa Weber, Aaron Hollis. We've been out here.
Well, we're gonna make sure we get the cash.
Yeah, I'm thinking y'all gonna put it on the little video and stuff, right? The little lineage on the video.
VLP. You hear these requests being made?
Right.
Every guest up here has a cash out and does
Right,
community
because
work, and it will be helpful. So we need to show those cash outs.
And let me explain why. You can't fund love. You have to, your statistics and data and all this other stuff in this white supremacy system, right? And we are in such dire need that none of that really matters. You know what I mean? We need to be impactful. We need to be, and let me give you an example of impactful, right? Because as we do this work and the journey, like, I don't be understanding half the stuff, right? That come to me. Right. You said you saw our live, right? When I went back to the juvenile facility and talked to them about a simple soap that we purchased from May Rain, Moonflower, make sure you check it out. These are some of the results. Oh, Miss Mona Lisa, my skin cleared up. Miss Mona Lisa, that bamboo toothbrush wasn't hurting my gums. Oh, Miss Mona Lisa, I no longer have to wear lotion because the soap actually, is good to my skin. See, we tend to, we as humans tend to be like, well, we gave them this, so they should appreciate it.
No, it don't work that way.
See, it don't work that way. You have to not talk love. You have to show love.
That's it right there.
And that's the difference.
That's it right there, baby.
And when people talk to me about, well, this and that and it, no, it's called excellence and it's called Black excellence. And I want our children to have the best of the best, even if they're incarcerated. Why? Because the majority of the reason why they're incarcerated is because it's the parents' lack of, the adults' lack of, the community lack of, and everything lack of.
That's right.
So until us adults, and I'm coming after y'all.
Yes.
Okay, I'm coming. Because after we got to get ourselves together as parents, as community, as the village, because we want to put the accountability and we want to hold these kids responsible. But what we're dealing with walking zombies, no soul and no love. Why you think they killing everybody? They don't hesitate.
Yeah.
Why? Because they've never been loved. They've never been nurtured. Even my pit bulls show more love. Nia and Nagasi be loving each other, hugging each other, kissing each other. We don't even show that to our own children. So you can look us up, community work. We are well known in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County. We do the work. but we do it different.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
We do it different, bro.
I
Like
love-
we
I
do
love
it
that, 'cause
different.
First of all, I don't like tradition. Because for me,
Love it.
tradition is stifling. Tradition is box.
Yes,
Tradition is conformity. And that's just it. We, as you said, are individuals, and we were born to not fit into things. We were born to make a difference.
That's
and we were
it.
born to stand
That's
out.
it.
So you all are doing what you're doing,
Yes.
but there's no comparison.
Right.
You know?
Mhm.
And that's what I love. I love when it's okay. It's just like how people are like, you know, every time you look around, it's an empowerment. Yes, but they're not the same. This empowerment event may be geared towards letting people know how to love themselves.
Mhm.
This empowerment event may be geared towards showing a person how to be more confident than they already are.
Mhm.
This particular empowerment event may be showing people the ropes of being an entrepreneur.
Mhm. Mhm.
So you might have the same word, but it's different entities.
Mhm. Mhm.
You don't want your arteries to go all to the same direction, do you?
Exactly.
And not only
Exactly.
that.
And
Mhm.
the smallest of things are really the biggest of things. I want each three of you to do this from this day forward and see the light up. Just a random child. You're in Walmart, you're in the grocery store, just a random child that meets your passing. Say hello and ask them how their day was. And I want you to pay attention to the light up and the way they change and that smile that comes up. Because they are not asked that. Children are not asked how their day was.
Not at all.
Children are not asked how are they doing.
Not at
They're
all.
uniformed and treated as if, honestly, they are in the military. When they are human beings, they matter. Once a child starts talking and forming full sentences, have conversation with them. Just how Facebook asks you what's on your mind.
Ask them what's on their mind.
And we go to saying what's on our mind. Ask a child from the age of 3 and up that can form sentences. Ask them what's on their mind.
And it's funny because when you say that, I mean, it's funny how we are as people and how we get so far removed from ourselves when we were once children.
Exactly.
We were once children. The prison is full of men that used to be beautiful babies.
Exactly.
Cuties. You know, cute little babies that used to get pinched on the cheek.
Right.
Now they locked up. You know, different things like that. So we were all children. So when you say something like that, all you got to do is just imagine. Sometimes when I'm chastising my daughter, I think back to, dang, I wonder, did I used to do that? Because sometimes we have to sit back and think about how we used to be. Because we get so far removed from ourselves. So I love that too when you tell your story and you're talking to the young man, you say, look, I've done this. I've been here. I've done that. That's one of the things that people love is to being able to relate to.
Exactly.
When you can sit back and say,
Let me tell
I've
you.
been there. I've done that. Oh, hey, I used to be a girl just like you. You know what I'm saying? Those things
Let me
matter.
tell you. At the juvenile facility,
children don't care to know unless they know you care. You could walk in that auditorium for that assembly and you be the guest speaker and you could have on your zoot suit and your Stacey Adams. They don't care about that. They want to know, do you know what a wish sandwich is? Do you know what sugar water is? Do you know what it's like to go to bed and your stomach sounding like a symphony? That's what they want.
Let me tell you, we at the juvenile facility, and I always say, man, so we was at the juvenile facility a couple weeks ago. He came in. He comes in a couple times a month, right? And I was at an advisory board meeting. I come back, and he's with the boys, and I just kind of stand back. And next thing you know, they're like, "Yeah, man, you know exactly how we live. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You damn it!" Like it was so cool to see that the boys can identify, can relate.
That's what.
Man, that was so like I can visual. I look at it, I'm like, damn, and that's what they need.
Yeah, they need to know you feel. You really feel their pain.
When these kids, like most of these kids in the facility, when they look at me, they don't, you know, even though they know the work that I do, like they look at them. He look like my uncle. He look like my dad. He got the gold teeth. He a black man. He look like he from where we from. So, you know what I'm saying? That automatically, then like I just strike conversation with them, like, and I tell them, dog, it's all about creativity. Because somebody, Bill Gates' creativity, what it did for him, it made him rich.
Right. The man
Steve
from
Jobs,
Amazon.
Exactly. Everybody creativity is making them rich.
Yeah,
right?
that's
so
it.
I tell them straight up, hey man, like one thing about me, I know how to push drugs, but I'm not. I'm gonna push my creativity how I used to push those drugs. And in 20 years from now, I'll be far beyond where I was in 20 years in the drug game. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I tell them every day, man, your creativity gonna make you wealthy. If you exercise your creativity, don't worry about who rocking with you. Because the closest ones to you not gonna rock with you.
That's it.
You're gonna meet people, you're gonna meet the right people along the way. So just take that leap of
As long as
faith.
you network,
Always pray for opportunity.
That's all that.
That's it. And coronavirus showed us that creativity is definitely going to be the thing that we're going to need. So if you don't have none, I suggest that you go somewhere and just kind of meditate and find that particular thing, because it is going to be, it's the thing that saved us. It's the thing that kept us sane. Creativity.
Look at D Nice.
Yeah.
Look at DJ D Nice. Okay? And how he created, that platform of a vibe, just playing music.
Yeah, and it
and
turned out to be one of the biggest
He's
things.
doing commercials and
humongous.
And we're in the world of social
experiencing
media.
things that he probably didn't experience prior to COVID. As a DJ.
Yeah, so creativity is definitely something that I suggest you embrace. I believe that creativity also gets us closer to God, because it's that natural ability that you have that rests inside of you that nobody had to teach you how to do. But if you embrace it, you can perfect it. So that's an amazing thing, and that's a seed. So hold that. But yeah, we are going to wrap this up. It has been an amazing eating session.
Food for the belly, food for the mind, food for the soul.
And if you are not subscribed, you best to make sure that you go to Elaina The Poet on YouTube and subscribe. Like I said, everybody here has a cash app. These are servants of the universe of God. So please, if you are watching and you are watching this particular episode, watch for the cash app. You can send to everybody or to whoever you choose, but take some time and just make sure that you are making a difference. If that's sending $1 or $2,
there you go.
Go
That's
ahead
what I'm about to say.
Yeah, any little thing helps. Go ahead on and do that. We appreciate it, and so it's a blessing. To my greatness, I'm gonna just have to say my greatness at the table, because that's what it is, and that's what it is. Does anybody have anything else that they want to say? Any more seeds y'all want to drop before we get out of here?
Never stop believing in yourself. As the Nissan Rogue that I passed on I-95 had written, from the back passenger door to the front passenger door. And I have to share that because I also share with people constantly on my page that life talks to you through people, places, things, signs, and wonders. But the catch is, will you be listening? Will you be paying attention? Because a lot of people miss their opportunities for blessings and for walking in their greatness, and maybe all because they're not paying attention, or they're distracted, or they're rushing. Stop rushing, because wherever you're going, it is going to be there. It is going to be there. So live each day, and it's just like my Snoopy said to Charlie Brown. When Charlie Brown said, "You only live once, Snoopy." And Charlie Brown was like, "No, you only die once. You live every day."
That's it right there. I know that's right. You live every day, you die once. That's the truth right there. So we're gonna get ready to get up out of here. We thank you guys so much for joining us in Mona's kitchen here. It's been an amazing session. I'm so blessed. I might cry in my car on the way home and stuff from appreciation and all that. I be doing that. It's cancer season. Cancer.
Y'all very emotional.
Girl, you know I'm a cry, baby.
I am a cry.
Y'all
very
emotional.
Okay,
people.
girl.
Y'all put the E in emotional.
I'm talking about.
But it's all good. It's genuine though.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, so we're going to get out of here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in this episode, Saving Our Children. Eat with the Poet, cool people. Take us out of here.
Peace to all the queens.
What's up out there? We live.
Tapping in.
I need everybody to tap in.
Cool people.
Everybody to tap in.
Eat with a poet.
Subscribe.
Never leak it or show it.
Shout out
Gotta
to
pull
Elaina.
your own weight. If you reap it, you sow it. Come eat with a poet. Gotta plant it and grow it. Drop that artificial food. Come and eat with a poet. Kicking words with the poets, I get lyrical. Physical is great, my journey now is spiritual. Peace to the queens in the nation and foreign. I would like to introduce you to Elaina The Poet. Stayed down in the jungle like some bare feet. Now when we toast, ace of spade, no more bare feet. Poking beans, Dade County, yeah, I'm still hood. Spread love, feed the homeless cause it feels good. Now pay attention, this is knowledge of wealth. Throw the school books away, this is knowledge of self. Quiet is kept, listen, this the Revolution broadcast. Now pay attention to Elaina and her podcast. Never leak it and show it. Gotta pull your own weight if you reap it, you sow it. Yeah, gotta plant it and grow it. Drop that artificial food, come and eat with a poet. Come eat with a poet.
Shout out to Elaina The Poet.
Cool people.
See, I need everybody to tap in, subscribe.
Spread love.
You know what I'm talking about? Black power.
Black power.
Black queens.
Black kings. All
Shout out
kings.
to all the kings.
All queens.
Forward movement.